Hey, how's it going? My name's Legit Logic, and I just wanted to make a quick follow-up video on my last one where I reviewed Moira's abilities. So now that I've played her a lot more and tested her with my good friend Night Raven, thank you very much, Night Raven, for spending like 2 hours with me testing this crap in a custom game. Really appreciate that. Now I can get back to you with a very accurate numbers, some of which were pulled off the wiki. Yes, I do know that, but most of them I actually got from my own testing because they didn't really give you anything. And some of them are not exactly accurate, and also some of all of these numbers are subject to change because Moira is still on the PTR, still being balanced and everything. Okay, let's start off with primary fire, right? This healing right here. So the duration of that, how long you can fire it before it expires, is 9 seconds, and it does 80 healing per second when you're healing them like this, constant healing, and the linger lasts for 3 seconds. If you tap them like this, it goes for 3 seconds. And if you tap them, and if you heal them and then stop, and then it just keeps going for 3 seconds, right? And the linger, if you tap them, by the way, this is a useful thing to know. If you tap them like that, it can do between 50 and 60 damage. It's inconsistent just because it depends how well you tap, right? So 50 to 60 healing, I mean. And that's actually really good. So this is going to be a great tip. Just kind of do that to your team every once in a while. Spray like this. Even if a little bit hits them, that's 50 healing, right? That's actually quite a bit of healing. And how much you can do total with your entire magazine plus the linger at the end is 770. And the recharge time for it to go from bottom to top all the way is 45 seconds. But if you're doing this right here, then it goes up way faster here. Let me show you on a better background. There, now you can actually see it. It's going up very slowly now. And when I do this, it goes up a lot faster. In fact, it goes up exactly 5 times faster. So yes, after you've been healing a lot, right, it's a very good idea to hit damage a little bit, and then do more healing, and then damage some more. And no, if you are wondering, your damage orb does not replenish your little charge meter for your primary fire there. Alright, so, and the fire, the range on all of this is, as you can see, from 0 meters right there, it is 15 meters. And this is the limit right here. That's about as far as you can shoot it and still heal your enemies. Okay, now let's go to the secondary fire. You do this by right-clicking or, I'm sorry, controllers. I don't play console. I very dearly apologize. So, how much it does... It gives you self-healing, which is actually flat. It's not a function of how much damage you do. So it's not like you put a Discord on them, nano yourself, and you do crazy self-healing. No, it's a flat 33 per second, right? Here, let me take some damage here, even though these do ridiculously tiny damage. And the damage it does, by the way, the damage rate is 50 per second. So that means 4 seconds to kill an enemy, right? So now you can see I'm healing myself. This is right here at the bottom left. That's 33 per second. And also, this is one of those things where firing, like constant fire and melees in between, give you slightly more DPS. I don't know if I would recommend this. If you're really close range and they're jumping around you, then yes, absolutely, because melees are much easier to hit. And that improves your DPS from 50 per second to 53 per second. So that's... that's that. And then there's also the range on this is actually 21. These guys are at 20, so if you start at 0, you can just hit them from here, a little more, and then here's the limit right here. And there is no charge meter for your secondary fire whatsoever. Alright, moving on to Fade. This is an awesome ability. I think it was changed recently because my numbers don't line up with the wiki, but I'm just going to use the wiki. And it still might be changed. So the cooldown, as you can see, bottom right, sorry, is 6 seconds. Indeed it is. And you basically go invisible and appear somewhere else, but it looks like a wraith for you. It lasts 0.8 seconds, 0.8 of a second, and you gain 18.75 meters per second movement. Now, if you do some basic algebra, you'll figure out that you can travel just about 15 meters using this ability. Maybe if I was a little better, I could reach 15 meters there. Alright, moving on to the orb. So this is your E ability. Sorry again, console, very sorry. And you can choose between a healing orb or a damage orb, as you can see right there on the screen. So, a healing orb, let's start with that. Its capacity is 300, so it will indeed expire after it reaches 300, which is actually pretty cool. And damage orb capacity is 200. So after it deals 200 damage, I don't know if it's going to deal all 200. Yeah, it's not going to deal because it bounced off and then flew away. But after it deals the full 200, oh, there you go. It bounced back, and then it killed him, but it disappeared. After it deals the full 200, it vanishes. Same for healing, but that's 300, which is why healing is actually a better idea to throw into like a brawl that broke out instead of damage, since you have 300 potential points, their health points, instead of 200 on the enemy, right? So healing is a better idea to do in a brawl. And you can heal yourself, yes. So orb flight speed, okay, oh wait, cooldown is 10 seconds. And its duration of the orb, the lifetime of the orb, is 10 seconds too. So if you just shoot it and it doesn't hit anyone, let me go over here where there's no one to heal. It's just going to stick around for 10 seconds, right? It's probably going to bounce off into the distance, but whatever. Point proven, right? 10 seconds. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. There you go. See, it vanishes right as your cooldown replenishes, but it can disappear earlier, of course. Its flight speed is 20 meters per second when going full speed, when not hitting any target. So you can see it goes really fast, right? But if it's actually affecting a target, then it slows down to 5.5 meters per second, which is actually exactly walking speed. So as you can see, it goes kind of fast, and then when it hits the target, it slows down way more. And then it keeps going fast when it leaves the target, and then it kind of sticks around a little bit, and then it speeds up again. That's that. And oh, the range of the orb from the orb itself to the target that it can reach is 5 meters. So if there was an orb right there, then it would just barely hit me. There was an orb hovering right here above the 5-meter mark right there. And it would just about hit me, but barely. Right here I'm out of range. And that's for both damage and healing. And, oh, healing it does 75 per second, and damage it does 50 per second. So again, better to brawl in a brawl throw a healing orb, since it does also more healing per second than damage does damage per second, right? It does have the same expiring rate if it's affecting only one target, which is, oh, and that is for each target. So if there's like 5 targets, right, it's going to do 75% for all 5 targets, and then expire after it depletes its 200 limit or 300 limit, depending on which orb it is, right? And then, so 75% healing and 50% damage. So if my brain math is right, then that should mean the same time, which is 4 seconds of constant effect on one enemy, will mean an orb expires entirely. Okay. Last but not least, the ultimate. Okay, so the ultimate has a duration of 8 seconds. Its cast time is 0.5 seconds, so that's between me pressing the button, watch this, click, boom, right? That's 0.5 seconds right there. So do keep that in mind. You're very vulnerable in that 0.5 seconds. Watch out for flashbangs, hooks, any sort of stun will stop this, because this is a channeled ultimate, same as Roadhog's Whole Hog, or Far's Rocket Barrage. If they get flashbanged or hooked or anything like that, it will end their ultimate. It's not like Tac Visor, right? It's like McCree's Deadeye. So do watch out for that. Any stuns will interrupt your ultimate. I need to charge it back as I'm talking. Its self-healing on you is 50 per second, so that's not that crazy good. So you are not invincible in your ultimate. Also keep that in mind. That's very important. When I started playing this hero, I thought, oh, I'm gonna ult. Oh, no one can kill me. No, people can kill you. It's only 50 per second. That's as much damage as she does with her right click. So if she's constantly locking onto you with a right click, then obviously that's gonna do as much damage as you're healing back. So like, not much benefit there. She will out damage you if she shoots a damage orb and right clicks at the same time. So that will actually have your health go down in the middle of your ultimate. I'm talking about another Moira here. But there's gonna be a lot of enemies obviously shooting at you. So I wouldn't really recommend ulting unless you, well, ulting in a very risky situation, like in a life or death situation. If you're low, don't ult to save your life, because that might actually end up in you losing your ult and dying, which is bad. So the self-heal is 50 per second. The damage on the ultimate is 70 per second. But the healing on the ultimate is 140 per second. So it has double the healing potential than it does damage. To deal 200 damage, you're going to wait, about 3 seconds. But to heal 200 health, you're going to wait only about 1.5 seconds. And if you are wondering, the total damage, which is 8 seconds times 70 per second damage, you're going to deal is 560. So you actually can't even kill, well, you can't fully kill a Roadhog from full to death, or Diva, right? But I guess it's not going to be that important, because you're primarily going to be using your ultimate to heal. It's kind of like Mercy's ult, right? You don't want to just pull out your pistol and do everything, you know? You want to res and heal, because you are a support after all. Moira is a support. Alright, so getting on, total healing is 1120, which is pretty crazy. I mean, you can heal any tank to full really quickly, right? This is really strong. And it does increase your movement speed. Your movement speed goes from 5.5, which is normal movement speed right here, to 9 meters per second. So you can fly around very, very quickly. And I think this might be a risky strategy, might be low reward, but it's worth doing it if it's like overtime and you're about to lose a game. You can use your ultimate to get back to the objective just to contest, right? And you still have that huge healing and huge damage. So people will stay out of your way to a degree. Unless you're the only one there, I mean, then they'll just focus you and kill you, right? But understandable, right? See, I move a lot faster when I'm ulting, yeah? And it does have a reasonable duration. It's not a very short channeled ultimate. I think it's one of the longest, if not the longest ultimate. And the range on the ultimate is 30 meters. So I know that bot's at 30. So you're just going to have to take my word for that. From right here, I would just barely reach him. And then I would not reach him from there. Right? And that goes for both healing and damage. Alright, so that wraps it up. Not so quick, but this is a very detailed statistics video, which I actually really wanted to see. So there you go. Now I see it. And congratulations, I just saved you, what, 50 minutes of testing? Unless you were smart and looked up the wiki. Because, you know, I didn't do that, and I just wasted more time than I needed to. Anyway, that's basically it. Watch my other videos on Moira. This hero is going to be coming out in the next few weeks. Possibly in the next day. By the way, there is, if you don't own the game, there is a free weekend that's going to be going on this weekend, the first weekend of Thanksgiving. That's going to be on the 18th or so. I don't know. Look it up. I'm going to leave a link to the website in the description. And I'll actually write down what the days are. So that's nice and dandy. Alright, and oh, join my Discord, by the way. I have a YouTuber Discord. I have Discord open all the time that I'm on the computer. And trust me, I'm on the computer my entire life. Computer is my life, right? So if you have any questions, anything at all, video suggestions, or want to talk about my video or say you're a fucking idiot, please feel free to do so there. I'm actually happy to hear your negative feedback too. Negative feedback is awesome, right? Because if you say, okay, fuck, I gotta end this video. God, it's gonna take forever to upload anyway. All right, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time.